Alright guys, so if you guys are here because of the thumbnail, then you guys are probably wondering, HyRool, what happened to Stormbringer? Because a couple of days ago, you guys would have seen a lot of videos popping up on YouTube talking about the rise of Stormbringer Cookie once again because of the fact that Pure Vanilla Awaken is back into the meta, or is now part of the meta. And back then, Stormbringer did counter Pure Vanilla, and it did seem like Stormbringer was actually going to be really good against Pure Vanilla Cookie as well, the Awakened version. So just like I said, it's been a couple of days since that video has been released, and if you guys actually go to the defense side, this is going to be my example, but if you guys actually look, there are going to be a lot of defense battles that I did win, but you will see very little of Stormbringer as well. Actually, almost like a couple hours ago, like before this particular person actually hit me, there was actually literally zero Stormbringer in my defense list. So once those videos did come out, you know, one by Andy Runner as well as Drek came out, I actually did go and test it out, and I was chatting with my guild member for hours trying to figure out what was the best thing for this comp, because I went back and forth on Grandmaster and Elite 1 like for 4 or 5 hours yesterday. I was trying to get this team to work for you guys, but it just would not work consistently. For me, as of right now, if you guys actually look at the team right over here, my Stormbringer is at 2-star promotion, as well as my Elder Fairy is at 4-star promotion, and still like my Shadow Milk at 2-star. Oh, Golden Cheese is going to be 2-star Awakened with 4-star promotion, and you know, Pure Vanilla is going to be the highest out of all of them. But the Stormbringer as well as Elder Fairy and Shadow Milk, this is probably going to be around the place where like 50% of the players who have been playing consistently will at least be able to reach, you know, relatively easily. So that's why I went and tested out the topping sets and the biscuit sets and everything that was shown inside of different videos, but I came to the conclusion that this is very inconsistent for at least me, and I want to say for a lot of the players that are going to be near or around the same stat as myself. And the reason why is because of this, guys. It's because of the fact that teams like this, especially when there is no Golden Cheese Stormbringer, who is going to be able to nullify HP shields and things like that, but once you guys do get rid of HP shield, there's Pure Vanilla, who is still able to heal a lot because of the fact that once the HP shield is blocked, right, then you're able to consistently heal your team as well. There's going to be, like right now, Wind Archer is just a better legendary to deal more damage as well. Burning Spice is just more consistent with the damage and tanking. And Stormbringer in general, I would say if it's not going to be super high in promotion right now, you are probably just not going to see her used anymore. So she did have a pretty high popularity early on into the arena when the comp was found, but as soon as you know, people found, I guess, the inconsistency as well as just better comps now with someone like Wind Archer, Elder Fairy, and Burning Spice, and then we have like Yeti. We also do have Elder Fairy single, we have Coral single. Those comps are just doing way better. So let me just show you guys real quick. So this is my defense team right now. I have tried out in a lot of defense teams as well. So let me just show you guys this team real quick. So the team setting that I have right now is going to be, I tried different things, right? I tried damage resist bypass. I tried a bunch of cooldown as well. It seemed like damage resist bypass was a little bit better. I also tried full peanut. Yes, I lose about 100,000 HP, but in my opinion, having the extra damage resist was a lot better for Elder Fairy, at least in 4-star promotion. And then Shadow Milk, I tried the 1 second, but the 2-second Raspberry seemed a lot stronger as well for me in most of the cases. And then we have our Golden Cheese and our Pure Vanilla right now. Pure Vanilla and constantly like changing and trying out different things as well, but this is mainly because now I finally have the full damage resist on the actual biscuit, so I'm now able to try out like raspberry with like peanut swift chocolate, or like I tried almonds as well, but around 10% cooldown seemed to be the best as of right now. So let's go into it real quick, and then let me show you guys like the outcome as well. Alright guys, so you guys are gonna be able to see like Stormbringer. One thing is that her skill cooldown, or at least like the initial start, is very slow, which is not too much of a problem because Elderberry does use the taunt, take the puppet show, and kind of dies off, gets revived by pure vanilla, so it's not too much of a problem. So Stormbringer is able to consistently like get rid of those shields, but the thing is, right, it does look like you just lack a lot of extra damage, right, with Stormbringer. So Stormbringer back then used to do a lot damage, but compared to what we have right now with Wind Archer, with Burning Spice, you're just losing out on so much extra damage that this 11 million, like compared to the 38, compared to the 28, it's just not enough, right? So if you're gonna have a tank, then you want to have a tank like Burning Spice is what it is. If you're gonna have a just one solo tank, then having just solo tank with Elder Fairy or Crimson Coral or even Yeti, and then having the extra damage come out from Wind Archer and Shadow Milk with like Golden Cheese kind of tanking the other hits as well, is just a better option in my opinion, and it's gonna be a lot less headache, right? So I even tried to verse this with like my Coral comp. I tried it against like my Elder Fairy comp, nothing would work, right? So like right here, if I go and change it to my let's change this to the Elder Fairy comp real quick. All right, then we will go into the Stormbringer comp again too, because this is kind of like technically, oh, and I'll try the 1 second here as well, right? 1 second. So this is kind of like very similar to what Direct actually showed as well. So here we go. All right, so this is going to be very similar to what Direct has. So the 1 second cooldown of the Shadow Milk will allow you to kind of use the puppet show earlier on. But because of the fact that you still have the taunt, you still have the revive, and you have all the healing going on, and then once you reach that 1 minute mark, right, then you lose out on so much damage because the enemy Shadow Milk and Wind Archer is just able to blow up the entire team. So like, it seemed like you were winning in the beginning, and then the 1 minute mark happens, and then you just kind of explode. So, and then the other thing is that when you had Insignia and such, right, Insignia would be like the last clutch method, but you don't have that in this case because we're all constantly using like the Royal Necklace right now most of the time. And you see right here, like Pure Vanilla is just healing so much more than what we're healing here. I don't think Storm is like absolutely meta. I'm not saying that Storm is completely gone, but I would say you'll probably see it like maybe at max like 5% of the time you're actually versing. You might see a little bit more inside of the lower ranks, but if you guys like go into the top ranks, like it's gonna be very hard to see Stormbringer, because again, even the rankers found out that is very inconsistent, right? Compared to the teams that we have right now, which I will make a separate video about. You are not gonna see Stormbringers. Even if I use like Crimson Coral here, right? Crimson Coral will also beat Stormbringer out. All right, so my last example here, of course, this is my example, right? It is my kind of like testing with my team, as well as, again, I went back and forth, and I constantly asked like my guild members and former guild members who are, really high in the ranking too, that they just don't use Stormbringer anymore. They don't, just because of the fact that, again, it's just so inconsistent for them too. It just seemed like it looked really good before they everybody started to figure out like what was the best topping set for like Pure Vanilla, what's the best topping set for like Elder Fairy, what's the best topping set for Wind Archer right now with the current meta. So it's like, again, you just start to blow up. Like Coral just provides so much buff, right? Look at the amount of healing that you're receiving with like Pure Vanilla on the enemy team. It's the same topping, same biscuit, but just the synergy that you have with this kind of team versus this, where Stormbringer is just kind of trying to do something. And the reason why is because of the fact that Pure Vanilla is now healing a lot more because the HP shield is gone, but you're just constantly healing, right? So again, guys, I don't know if Stormbringer is really going to be a great investment for you guys after a couple days of me testing it out. So I wanted to go over this and a couple of the teams before I actually updated the PvP tier list, because I wanted to show you guys, rather than just talking about it in the tier list, that probably like 30% of the people actually listen to. So my verdict is Stormbringer had a fame for about like a day or two, and then whoop, bye bye, gone from the meta now. Again, for like 95% of all the players that are playing actual arena in the top ranks. Again, guys, you probably might see it once in a while. You probably can still use it in certain cases, but in my opinion, if it's not going to be very consistent, at least 50% or more, then I would probably stay away from that team. And that's the reason why it's very important to test it out yourself as well and see if it works for your account before you go and, you know, actually use it for a lot of the battles, because you will lose and you will win. But if you're losing more, then you probably want to throw the team away for your account. Thanks for watching, guys. I will be updating you guys with more teams as well as other information we got going on for this update and more to come. Let me know down in the comments below what your experience with Stormbringer was, and I'll catch you guys all in the next video.